Hey pros, so today we are doing a total transformation. My client, who as you guys can tell is natural, has decided to go to the creamy crack side, and we are going to be doing a shortcut. Now this process is definitely one that you don't want to miss, so be sure to watch all the way to the end so you can see the final result. Let's go. So of course she's going from long hair to short hair, and we have to do the major chop. So I started off by sectioning the crown area. I went down into where we would call it the parietal ridge. And then around the sides and the back, I did a very rough cut. So this is not the actual haircut, but a rough version of us getting a lot of that excess length off that she is no longer going to be using. But I still did not go short enough on purpose, just to ensure that we have enough hair around the sides and the back wherever needed. She is also getting a virgin relaxer. Now, if I know I'm going to be relaxing a client, I do not like to relax first, then cut, because when you're doing a shortcut, you really need as much processing time as possible. And you also don't want to really process hair that is going to be cut off anyway. So that is the reason why I like to do what we call a preliminary cut first. Outside of the preliminary cut, I do still use my shears to go in and have a little more control when it comes on to taking off the bulk of the weight, and also just using precision and making sure that I'm not being very heavy-handed or rough, because I know that I'm going to be processing her with a relaxer at some point during this process. So my clippers are actually not really messing or touching the scalp area. I'm literally just kind of combing through the hair and taking off whatever I can without adding any additional aggravation. So once the relaxer is processed, I went through and did rinse out as much of the relaxer as possible. And the reason why I say as much as possible is because until you neutralize the hair and the scalp, the relaxer still is present. So you want to just make sure that you are not seeing any traces of relaxer, but keep in mind neutralizing or normalizing is a requirement as a part of the relaxer process. Now, I like to always cocktail my neutralizer on the second shampoo. On my first shampoo, I always go directly in with the manufacturer specified neutralizer or normalizing shampoo, mainly to restore the hair back to its regular pH. And then on the second shampoo, I like to incorporate or cocktail our Elite Hair Care shampoo, which in this case, I use the Hair Repair and Restoration 2.0. Because we are doing a virgin relaxer, we are going from literally natural or virgin textured hair to straight hair. That is a lengthy and also can be a very heavy process on the hair. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word. So you always want to make sure that you are backing up and aiding your hair using your Elite Hair Care products, specifically the Hair Repair and Restoration collection, mainly because that collection has the garlic oil, onion oil, biotin, niacin, and zinc. It is going to help to strengthen the hair, is going to help to repair and preserve the follicle. So really its job is to really create a preservation or a repair regimen for the hair after the relaxer process. So if you are fine textured or you are relaxed, I highly recommend the Hair Repair and Restoration shampoo and conditioner, because it's definitely going to be vital throughout the entirety of your wash day process. Now, while I'm finishing up her shampoo, I did want to remind you guys that Memorial Weekend is coming up, 2025. We are currently having a bundle and glow sale where you basically save the more items you have in your cart. So you can actually create your own bundles and save up to 40% off. No code is needed, and it applies to any and all of our Elite Hair Care products. It also applies to our starter kits and bundle kits. So if you want to get the hair repair and restoration 2.0, as well as our repair RX protein, or maybe you need the moist repair, maybe you need styling products, whichever way, if you buy 2 products, you get 20% off, buy 3 products, you get 30% off, and buy 4 or more products, you get 40% off. Of course, the 40% off is always going to be bomb. It's going to be Bay. So make sure you guys add as many products as needed to your cart so that you can save that 40% off. All right. Now let's talk about the haircut. Now that she is relaxed, I can now go through and really give her a detailed haircut. Now, you guys know whenever I do my haircuts, I can definitely be scissor happy when I'm ready, but I also know how to scale back. In a case like hers, I'm giving her a little bit of both because I am going in and giving her a brand new haircut from extremely long hair. As you guys could tell, her hair was past her shoulders, and she chose that she wanted a haircut, you guys. It wasn't because she needed one. It was more because she wanted a change, and this is what she chose to do. Now, when it comes on to the length in the crown area, I did leave length in the crown on purpose. She did want to have a little more length up there. So the length in the crown is actually here to stay. The good thing is she's able to utilize that length and do so many different styles. She has so much versatility. She can make so many different decisions when it comes on to her style preference and still have the ability to add extensions wherever needed. Once her haircut was done, it was definitely time to prep her for her mold. So I sprayed her with some Hydra Strength leave-in conditioning spray. I also sprayed her with our Shield Heat and Humidity Protectant Spray. With the Shield Heat and Humidity Protectant Spray, that is going to be her heat protectant. It is also going to help her with any form of split ends that she might have. And it is going to help with the humidity because we are in Florida, so it's going to definitely help to keep the hair nice and sleek and soft and protect it from the UV rays. Now for the mold, I'm using our Elite Silk Wrap Foam with biotin. This is our new and improved wrap foam that has that biotin paired with it to keep the hair nice and strong while it is in its molding phase and after the fact. Now, once we do the mold, she is going to go under the dryer for about 30 to 45 minutes. And then after the mold, we'll go ahead and get her started in regards to her curls and style. But in the meantime, you guys, I want you guys to comment down below. I have a trivia question for you. Let's see who gets the answer right. Which serum would you use after the hair is dry in order to add heat protection? Is it A, the Goddess Hair Repair Serum, B, the Biotin Boost Serum, or C, the Frizz Control Serum? Comment down below. You can put the letter or you can put the product name. Let's see who gets it right. Now that the hair is dry, we're just going to go in and detail her edge. So I'm using my trimmers to get the hairline nice and crisp and nice and pretty. We don't have a lot more cutting to do. At this point of the process, really, I usually just do any type of detailing if I see any excess hair, or maybe I might have missed a strand or something that's just not in the right place. But at this point of the process, it's really more about styling. And I always recommend for my clients when they're going home to get them some frizz control. Frizz control is definitely the answer to the question from the trivia question. And they also make sure that they're going home with some Elite Silk Wrap Foam so that when they're molding their hair at home, they have everything that they need. Before your curl, you always want to ensure that you're adding your frizz control. This is a lightweight silicone that is going to help to seal the hair, and it's also going to act as a glossifier to make the hair nice and shiny, but protect it from any form of heat damage that you could experience from your flat irons or curling irons. Now for the curls, I am using our Smooth by EHC collection. You are welcome to use whatever collection works for you when it comes onto your curling. Just keep in mind that you want to make sure you have an iron that is able to be tempered, meaning you're able to adjust the temperature setting, and you are also able to utilize ceramic over titanium heat, especially if you are especially if you're relaxed and your hair is fine, medium, or even coarse textured. Now, the good thing about today's styles is no one is using that hard, crunchy style. So we're able to really just kind of just freehand. I love freehanding my clients' hairstyles. Now, if they have a style preference, of course, I go with that. But in her case, she said, Crystal, just do your thing. I usually ask if they want it up or down or a combination of both. In this case, she was okay with a combination of both. So I'm literally going through and just freehanding, curling, and flipping all in the same sense. Another pro tip that I want to point out whenever you are working with a shortcut like this, I don't recommend spraying spritz on the hair at this phase of the process. If you do, you just want to ensure that it is a very light hold, because when it's time for you to style, if the hair is hard, it's hard for you to style it. So you always just want to make sure that the hair is nice and pliable. And then later on, if you need to add any additional hold, that is going to be the perfect time for you to add your hard spritzes or sprays. And we actually have our Elite Hair Care Spritz coming out very soon for those styling people out there, where you'll be able to build whether you want it hard or soft. And it also gives you a little more control when it's time for your hair styling or hot styling. Now, once we were done with all of the curling, I used our flow comb, which is our 3-in-1 comb, to go ahead and break up those curls, fill in any gaps or any holes. I don't like parts in the hair. And then really just kind of lay that hair exactly where it needs to be. The good thing is this is a very messy yet tailored style, so it doesn't really require a lot of work. I love the fact that now we're not really doing a lot of the Marcel style curls where there's no movement, there's no life. But she absolutely adored her hair, you guys. Her hair came out fabulous. I want you guys to comment down below and tell me what you guys thought about the finish. Please don't forget to go ahead and hit the subscribe button and follow my channel. Check me out on Instagram at @IAM_Miss Crystal Williams. And also don't forget to go and shop our bundle and glow sale for Memorial Day, where all of our Elite Hair Care products are up to 40% off. Visit EliteHairCareUSA.com. And of course, I'll see you guys in the next video. Love you. Bye.